Hi everyone. This is wrapping up a unit this week because I have decided to open 2 weeks in one. So I wanted to show you, if you go into course content and the module 1 folder, scroll down to the list of items, then you will see that for this particular section of class, I have weeks 6 and 7 open together. There is a list of things here for you to do, including reading our very last story for the analysis unit and a discussion forum. Now, a post-first discussion forum means that you will have to write your own post before you can go back in and see those of your peers in order to respond to them. Now, again, I still expect you to respond to at least 2 other students in order to get full credit on that assignment. And you will need to respond meaningfully, of course. Now, there's a lot of room for discussion. When you read this story, you'll find out what I mean. And then I'm asking that you read chapter 19, because there is a lot of terminology in there that has to do with poetry that short story writers use as well. So being able to identify those different words, different literary terms can help you in really thinking about the strategies and devices that the author is using in order to help you to understand the deeper meaning of the text. So read chapter 19. You can skip all of the poetry. And then you have an essay skeleton to work on, and I call it a skeleton because you're essentially kind of putting together the backbone pieces for your essay in this assignment. And in that assignment sheet, then I have given you specific instructions about picking a story other than Eveline, just for this because I am using Eveline as my example. And on many of these, I'm providing multiple examples so that you can see how it works. But read the prompt line and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do. You don't need to do as many as I do on some of these. Okay, so basically this is helping you to arrive at theme and then develop your plot elements that you will use for analysis, which is required of a formalist approach. Which is the type of essay that you are going to write for this assignment that's due at the end of this unit. Now, theme is something that people have had a little bit of trouble with on the forums and on the critical questions assignment that I just gave you that you turned in over the weekend. And so I'm giving you guys some detailed feedback on that so that you're not steered wrong on that essay assignment. Remember that in your course module, if you scroll up, all of the supplements that I have given you over this unit are still available to you. So you can see, for example, the video on finding theme is still there. And I suggest you go in and watch that again if you missed points on theme for the discussion forum or for your critical questions assignment. Because that video contains some great tips on how to find theme that will help you, I think, in writing your essay. Again, that's one of the pivotal points, or the crux of writing literary analysis, is that you provide your interpretation or what you think the deeper meaning is of a story when you write literary analysis. So it's really important that you have a firm grasp on what exactly theme is. Now, theme is automatically going to be wrong if you try to say, well, the theme of this story is that Eveline blah, 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 right? Because it just pertains to a character inside of the story then. And theme has to be universal. It has to apply within the story and also outside of the story as well. It has to apply to the rest of the world, to you and to me. So, you know, think about that. You know, what is the message in this story for all of us? And I think that that will help you. Your theme has to be a full sentence as well. You know, it can't just be a subject. Like the theme of the story of Eveline is isolation. No, wrong already, because that's just a subject, right? So what about isolation is the story trying to tell us? And the answer to that is theme. So if you said the theme of the story is that isolation brings about devastation and depression among people, then that is something that I can follow, right? A subject, just a one-word subject or just a phrase, doesn't help me to understand what the story is telling us, okay? So take a look back through those supplements that have been provided for you to help you, okay? And then that essay skeleton assignment is due by Sunday. Now, I've given you some extra time to do that assignment because I really want you to think about what story you want to work with for the literary analysis essay. Because if you choose the story for your essay for this assignment, I can give you some feedback on your theme, for example, and on the plot elements that you have chosen for this assignment before you get to writing the draft of your essay and turning that essay in. So this is a way to, for example, if we were a face-to-face class, for me to kind of peek over your shoulder and see what you're doing in your essay. All right, so make sure that you take some time and really work through that assignment, and then check on the feedback for that assignment before you turn in the final draft of your essay. Okay, and then I've also provided a PowerPoint here for you on thesis statements because there are some common pitfalls in writing thesis statements for literary analysis that I want you to be aware of, and it kind of shows you the process of how to go from kind of a mediocre or vague thesis statement into a much better one. And then there is an attachment for the conventions of literary analysis work, things like writing in present tense, addressing the author by last name, how to cite those quotations that you use appropriately, that kind of thing. So you want to make sure that you read that carefully. And then to develop your paragraphs, you want to think in terms of the rule of three. You want to have at least 3 main ideas to support your thesis, and you want to have at least 3 pieces of evidence to support each topic sentence, okay? So really I should see at least 3 pieces of the text, quotes or paraphrases from the text that go back and explain how your point is supporting this idea of theme. So take a look at that template for paragraph development so that you don't have problems there. And then of course at the end of that next week, due by Sunday, March 1st, your literary analysis will be due. And I really encourage you to take time with that. Write a draft and set it aside, and then go back and look at it again with fresh eyes. Sometimes we give ourselves a deadline and we put things off, and then we're writing rushed. And then we don't get our ideas out fully or in a developed manner or in a comprehensible manner so people can understand our ideas. And so take advantage of the opportunities that you have available to you as a Cali student. For example, in your course menu, there is a link to tutor.com. So you can submit your assignment sheet and your essay, and you can have someone look through the essay to make sure you're doing what you need to do there before you turn it in. You can get help with proofreading if you go to a writing center or tutors, or use tutor.com for that, in order to make sure you don't miss points on the small stuff. I would hate for you guys to put a lot of work forward in writing this essay and then miss a bunch of points just because you have some misspellings or commas in the wrong place. So I want you to do well. If you have questions, again, please don't hesitate to contact me. I wish you the best of luck. Don't put things off, and I will be talking to you soon.